Hey everybody, in this episode of the Legends of Tomorrow After Show, we're breaking down Season 2, Episode 13, Land of the Lost. Find out what happens when our Wave Rider crew heads back to prehistoric times. Let's do it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Marshall, Bill, and Holly on a routine expedition. I was going with the other one.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Legends of Tomorrow After Show. Look at that, as always, we're breaking down every episode of Legends of Tomorrow. Currently in its second season right there on the CW.
Ooh,
Look at that.
we're deep into this.
Deep into
We've
it.
been doing this for a while.
We are Legends of Tomorrow experts. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Get my gram
Oh,
game
both
on.
of them?
Get on that gram,
Not
man.
just Twitter?
I broadened the Instagram, guys.
Get out of here.
His
It's true.
Instagram is amazing. It is just pictures of food.
That's right.
Pictures of food.
Pictures of food, man. But it's all
That's all
food
you
I've
need.
eaten. That's all you need, man.
That's all
Follow
you
me
need.
on either of those social media platforms at Happy Go Jackie.
Oh, hey, you want to find out where to follow me? You can follow me at
Why,
MR
yes.
Dave Child on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm hardly on Snapchat, but yeah, sometimes on Snapchat. So I'm there too, or go to davechild.com. My name is Dave Child.
Well, my name is Lacretia Lyon, so you guys can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one. I make it easy.
Look at that. Now, as always,
It's like a
folks,
song every time.
I know.
Every time.
It's my catchphrase.
you can like us on Facebook. You can give us those 5 stars on iTunes.
All the Facebooks, every single Facebook.
Now, as you notice, Lex Michael, who rounds out our panel, he's not here tonight. And I will say
Why?
that's honestly because there's not enough 5-star reviews on iTunes. And he
It's
needs
what he
those to live.
lives off of.
Yeah.
You are killing him.
Look what happens when you don't 5-star us on iTunes. Lex Michael does not appear on the show.
And see, people, I am here and Lex is not here. So those rumors you guys started on the Supergirl thing.
Oh.
No.
What are the rumors?
Oh, that me and Lex were on a date last night because we both weren't at Supergirl. And then I was like, guys, no.
Well, or Lacretia just wore him out.
Yeah.
I think you might be saying too much about it.
I just thought it was funny. I'm like, Marianne probably doesn't think it's funny.
Is something happening? Who knows?
I know, we like to make rumors here at AfterBuzz.
That's right. It's we're about gossip and innuendo right here. But you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as hop in the chat. Lucretia's got her laptop on the
We
up and
got
running,
it.
which means we got the chat up and running as well. So share your thoughts about the entire series in general or this episode in particular.
Yes.
So look at that. It's been a little. We had a little time away from the show. We
Yeah.
come back.
I had
and-
a little week hiatus there.
Yeah, it felt longer for some reason.
It's because we weren't with each other. And
Yeah.
so, it feels longer when the team's not all together.
There you go. And I feel like I guess we can really relate to the Wave Rider because for the longest time the team really
Right.
hasn't been together.
Yeah.
And of course, this episode we finally see everybody reunited.
And if there's one thing for sure, I'm secretly in love with this studio. So I'm glad. If if you go into my head, the AfterBuzz studio just looks like a very sexy woman that I'm gonna kiss. that I will kiss.
Yeah.
That was kind of the greatest thing ever. It's like, yep.
Oh, man. Like, because
It was funny.
let's just jump all the way to the end because that
Yeah.
moment, as they brought up, but we also talked briefly afterwards, is that
Yeah.
Doctor Who did a similar episode where the TARDIS got personified.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous episode written by Neil Gaiman, and it's a great episode where the TARDIS got personified, turned into a very pretty lady, and it kind of flashed back to all the times that the Doctor called the TARDIS sexy, and he kind of so she thought her name was sexy. At one point, I think there was some sort of joke in there. So it was very. This episode was very similar when we meet Gideon, who is basically the Wave Rider, and it's also a very sexy lady. And I felt like it kind of came out of nowhere. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
It didn't feel like Captain Rip has like, a crush on Gideon this entire time, and we finally got.
No, that's very true.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like Gideon is just Siri, and all of a sudden it's like a her episode. It was fun. It's nice. It was good to see the actress who plays Gideon because I think she does deserve to have like an episode all of her own, and I just kind of wish they handled it a bit better or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different from that Doctor Who because you've got so much history between those two characters.
Yeah.
So to have only 2 seasons of this, and for the most of the season, Rip hasn't even been involved with the Wave Rider.
No.
So to now have all this, we're kidding around like, well, who's gonna make out with Gideon? And then damn, when Rip actually starts smooching, like, ooh, and then doesn't like, I don't regret that. Me neither.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Gideon remembers. So Gideon was also in his mind.
yeah, I mean,
Is that what was happening?
well, I guess plugged in as well, so like much like in Rip's brain.
Because I
which
guess
is the
they
AI.
plugged through the AI. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how. Which is weird because it means that maybe Gideon has a psychic connection to him this entire time. It just made me imagine he was going to do dirty things to that ship that night.
I know.
It's just terrible.
That
It's-
work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was a fun episode still. I love all the Jurassic, was it Cretacean period?
Crustaceous.
Crustaceous?
Yes.
Crustacean period.
Yeah.
The crustacean period. I know
Sounds
that's
right.
also wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's the lobster times. It's the
right.
lobster and crab times. And and I like
Red
that.
Lobster.
Yeah, and that was fun. I actually thought this was maybe Ray's best episode in a long time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they've been struggling with Ray and figuring out where to put Ray and what his kind of purpose in the show is. And this was a fun episode where we got to see kind of both sides of Ray. We got to see the dopey, nerdy Ray, and then also kind of someone who was able to actually know what he's doing and actually kind of have a heart-to-heart, which was kind of nice.
No, it certainly it builds. We saw Ray's struggles previous season with his relationship with Kendra, and realizing when you're involved with somebody that has a destiny,
Yeah.
maybe that's not the best thing to do.
It's not going to turn out well for you
Yeah.
in the destiny.
Unless Nate is part of the Destiny and he is her grandfather. That'd be fun.
That
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
true as well. You
Yeah.
never know.
He could be the spawn of many vixens.
Where if we end the episode where Amaya is like, "Oh, I'm pregnant, but I'm going to stay back in 19," or she doesn't realize she's pregnant until she gets back to 1942.
Right.
Like,
Could be.
uh-oh.
We don't know.
There you go. So now, which would actually be cool to see Nate get to hang out with his granddaughter.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
all right, there you go. We're contemporaries. This is really weird.
Yeah, it would be a nice reveal. I forget all the Vixen backstory because I haven't been keeping up with the Seed episode or anything like that. Have you guys been?
I have not caught
Watching
up on
those?
No, I have not been watching this. Although they
Yeah, I
released them all
haven't
on
either.
Blu-ray. If you want to, if you can't watch it on the Seed, and you want to watch it on Blu-ray. It's all been released
Yeah,
there.
not on the Seed.
No.
You guys checking out the Seed?
Seed.
Check out the Seed.
They made a new cool slang for their network. You're welcome, CW.
As we start the episode, though, we've got our crew trying to figure out where Commander Steele is. He's got the last piece of the artifact of the Spear of Destiny. And you've got Rip Hunter caught on the brig. And good old Rip. I mean, it's... Because it was a little weird from the last episode where he called out to Gideon and Gideon responded. So I guess we have to just assume that the rest of the crew realized, like, maybe that's not a good idea. So Gideon, don't talk to Rip.
Yeah.
Do not
Don't
respond.
do it, Gideon. Gideon, don't do it.
Yeah.
But he had some special words.
Yes.
Spaniel, broad, and tricycle,
That's right.
which was how he took over the whole ship.
Those were those safety words in that contract they worked out.
Yeah. Now that we find out more about the relationship with Gideon, I'm like, what are those words?
That's really
What do they mean?
Dave Child, as you mentioned with those words right there, it reminded me
Right.
of the notepad that they're written on.
Sure.
We forgot the hot thing that is sweeping not only just Legends of Tomorrow, but just
Oh,
pretty much
boy.
all the internet.
Yeah, all of it.
There is a chance, right, as always, our third week running, doing this great, fantastic opportunity for you folks.
And let me tell you, I have not mailed them out yet, but I have them. They're just stacking up. I have the whole notepads just stacking up
Love it.
in
Love
my room, but they're going to be sent out tomorrow. I'll do it. I'm going to say right now, tomorrow I'll do it.
I'll hold Dave to it.
That's
yeah.
right. You folks, fine folks watching or listening, have a chance to win Mr. M.R. Dave Child.
Oh yeah, we already have a good one.
We already have
Redneck
one.
and Nerd, which me too, buddy, is hashtag Rip ships his ship.
Yes, I like that one.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the one to beat right now.
So there you go. So, folks, yes, you can chime in on the chat about your favorite hashtag for this show, whatever you think that might be. And
ships his
yes,
ship.
we'll figure out which one's the best. And you can get this fantastic sketches, notes, thoughts, musings
Oh,
from
boy.
M.R. Dave Child.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
Yeah, there's a lovely drawing of Gertie on there.
I love it already, folks.
There's a Gert T-Rex on here. Gertie's my favorite part of this episode too.
Yeah.
I love that. I actually thought they did a good job of talking about this character and kind of, because that's tough CGI to have. Not quite having Gertie kind of show up that much, but was a presence in the episode, so that was kind of nice.
I did have one beef, and I guess we'll get to that.
What's your beef?
What's my beef?
What's Frank's beef? We're entering the Frank's beef part of the episode.
Well, first we get Rip breaking out of Gideon, using his safe words, takes control. Wave Rider crashes it. They end up crashing back in the prehistoric age. But as they crash, one part of the ship flies out.
The big ball in the front.
Yes, the temporal dislocation.
Not the ball.
Yes.
Not the time ball.
Time ball's
what
gone.
are they going to do without the time ball? They need to find some time ball.
But the fact that conveniently lands in a T-Rex's nest, just conveniently, out of every place.
Is it the nest or is it in the zone of territory?
No, it landed because right there in the egg, along with all the other dinosaurs' eggs.
See, this is my theory. I wasn't paying attention at that exact spot. But now that you've told me that, this is what I think. What do we know about Gertie? What do we know about Gertrude? She is missing an egg because Ray took it and ate it.
Yes.
She's sad. She's lashing out on Ray. What will she want? A new egg. What does she find? A time ball, but thinks it's a new egg. So brings it back to her nest to raise it as her own.
That's so sweet.
So she finds it and brings it back to the nest. It's not that it landed in the nest. She brought it back.
I don't know. I mean, that's certainly one way of looking at it.
But isn't that the way that makes sense? And you could just be like, okay, now it's fine. Now I don't have the beef. Beef destroy. Dave just ate the beef. That's those new segments of the show now.
Yes.
Frank's beef and Dave eats the beef.
Hashtag Dave eats the beef, guys.
Yes, come on.
And we also have from Billie Jean Girl 24, hashtag Ray Cockblock Palmer. I like that. Or casket fans like hashtag Time Ball.
Hashtag time ball.
Jared Scoggin says, hashtag where's the beef?
Where's the beef? In my stomach, because I ate that beef. That beef's been eaten.
And just to give the time ball its proper designation, the primary temporal delineator. So there you go.
All right.
But we'll call it the time ball, guys. It's cooler as a
Time
time
ball
ball.
sounds
Time ball.
Time
Yes.
ball.
So basically, they need to find that. So, of course, Ray's spent some time there back in that prehistoric time.
Yeah.
That's where when Rip did his time scatter with everybody, they got located back there. Yes, Lacretia.
I'm
Oh, we
sorry.
got a new hashtag. Dave eats Frank's beef.
And then it was maybe me and Lex weren't the ones on that date because of that.
Secrets.
I will never diminish the gentle touch and caress of M.R. Dave Child.
Yes.
There you go. He can eat my beef anytime.
That was just recorded and put on the internet.
I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better.
Oh,
You're Wendy's kind of people.
Thank you.
Brought to you by
James.
Wendy's. This innuendo brought to you by Wendy's.
Woo! So you too can sponsor an innuendo. Just go to
Yeah.
AfterBuzzTV.com. Figure it out.
Anytime.
So we've got Ray, Nate, and Amaya searching for the time ball. And then, of course, we're trying to figure out, well, we've got Rip Hunter on the loose, but he's been knocked out by Mick Rory. And we got to figure out, like, he still knows the location of Commander Steele. We got to get that out of his head.
Yeah.
And so we find out, though, that there is a cognitive intrusion device that the Time
Right.
Masters invented for such a case where somebody can enter somebody's mind.
I love a good old mind meld.
That's right.
It's time for a mind meld. It's time to jump inside that head.
And I did like that Mick Rory was also like the one responsible because he's had the most experience with that.
Right.
And he got to make Stein his assistant. Give me a beer.
He also seems to be the brain guy, Rory. He seems to be the guy that's like, he in the last episode, he took over the evil brain device of Rip. He has the most powerful mind. He kind of has all this, I love all this Kronos experience that he keeps bringing to the table, but kind of casually between sips of beer. It's, it's great.
Make it a six-pack.
Yeah,
He
I
always-
just love Rory how he is
Yeah.
now. Like, it's just like, I'm the smart one when it's necessary because it's like, oh yeah, I was Cronus. Like,
Yeah.
just bring it up when it's necessary.
Yeah, guys, in case you forget. So Mick and Stein are going to send Sarah and Jax into Rip's mind to find the information, and if they're lucky, be able to extract Rip's hidden real memories that have been kind of suppressed by the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Yeah, and what they discover is a very evil version of the Wave Rider, run by a very evil version of the Legends.
Yeah.
And Bizarro, even, was used, the word Bizarro, which I
like
found
that.
interesting.
That's true.
Because that's from Superman. And what is the origin of Bizarro? Is it from Bizarro Superman, or was it before that?
The board of Bizarro.
Did they always say Bizarro back in like the 1950s?
They
As, like,
did, yeah.
That's Bizarro over there.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
What a twisty turny. That makes no sense, you Bizarro boy.
Like I mentioned bizarre, and then you just like, oh, it'd be cool if you had an O to that. It could be Bizarro.
It's more, yeah. That's the hip, trendy version of
it sounds like a person's name as opposed to just an exclamation.
It does sound like it was created by Hepcat, right? Bizarro, baby. Hey, all those crazy cats out here being all Bizarro.
I can't imagine any of those DC writers back in the 50s like thinking, being like Hepcats.
Hepcats. Hepcats will love this. You know what? I was hanging out at the coffee shop. I heard a Hepcat say, Superman, what if he was Bizarro, man? And then that's how it was created.
You heard it here first on AfterBuzz TV.
That was
That's
during
a history lesson.
that kind of golden. Was it the Golden Age or Silver Age?
Golden Age.
That was kind of. It felt
Silver
like
Age.
it was fueled by drugs sometimes. So that
Yeah.
kind of makes sense to me.
Well, even the Silver Age when it got really weird. Like Superman has a lion's head. And
Yeah,
no,
that's what I'm
all
saying.
right,
It's
good
like they're getting real Bizarro. All right, tangent. Okay, moving back.
I know, because everyone keeps mentioning how Ray invented Funko Pops with those little dolls he had. Here in the
That's
chat.
true.
That's true.
Yeah, we do go back to Ray's because he spent some time there. We go back to his little camp that he had that was surrounded by a male T-Rex urine.
Yes.
Kind of ward off the Gertrude.
Yeah.
And then inside he's got his little pop figures that he made of the team.
Well,
And
Funko
Sarah,
Pops.
Sarah looks pretty on point. Everybody else, like, yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't put any hair on somebody, I guess you could say it's Rory.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like, all right.
Yeah, I like the little Rip one because of the shaggy beard he had. That was my favorite version.
Now, Nate and Amaya have been kind of flirting throughout this, basically after their experience in Camelot.
It wasn't just flirting. It felt like every time Ray's back is turned, they're like, what are you doing? I think what happened was that male urine has strucken up the
Pheromones?
pheromone in her animal system.
Yeah,
That's true.
T-Rex
So she was going
pee
crazy.
is part of her aphrodisiac.
Yeah, I think maybe that's a secret aphrodisiac we don't know about.
So is there a scene where Nate was just like scooping some of the soil right in there at the end? Like,
I'm gonna use this for later. Yum 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 yum.
Oh, Jared Scoggin. Hashtag blue steel balls. Hashtag soft steel.
Aww. Blue steel balls.
That was
I
a good
like. I'm gonna put down blue steel balls.
but yeah, we do see Amaya's kind of changed her tune after talking to Stargirl in Camelot. Like, you know what? Maybe I gotta,
Because that was the relationship that really worked and made sense. She looked back and like, yeah, Stargirl and King Arthur. I want that.
Yeah.
That's the relationship I want.
They literally met for like a day and she sees this. Oh,
Yeah, it was enough.
Yeah.
It was enough. She wants it now.
Yeah.
But let's get it for Ray though, because he says, I'm going to go out and get an iguana. We're going to cook that for dinner, and he gets it quickly
right away.
Yeah.
Also, I like that it seemed like he was a bit oblivious when he came back into the yoo-hoo, oh, gee golly. And then he actually sat down and had this conversation. That was my favorite Ray moment this season, just because it seemed like he is a smart guy. It showed that he knows what's going on. It shows that he recognizes what's going on, and he isn't just this oblivious nerd that just kind of doesn't know how people react. He recognizes how he's going down a very similar path he went down with Hawk Girl, and has a heart-to-heart that makes sense, and it felt like...
Yeah, as you say, that was probably one of the best Ray moments because he's like, dude, no, like, this is what happened to me, that really bro moment because they're like brothers now. It was good use of history that we'd kind of like to forget, but it was also like, oh, good, this is going to prevent another one of those. Like, he's not going to propose to her and all that.
Yeah,
nonsense.
it's at least being like, okay, they kind of know.
Yeah.
And the destiny getting in the way, it makes sense. And it doesn't feel as obvious as last time, because I know that was a big complaint we had in the first season, where it was kind of like, what are you doing, Ray? You know it's not going to work out. It makes no sense. This is coming out of nowhere. This is a relationship that felt like it had some time to build. It doesn't feel like it's coming out of nowhere, but it also feels like it is maybe a little doomed.
Yeah.
But maybe not. It actually,
Because it's weird, like, certainly I understand, like, don't get romantically involved for somebody that needs to go back to where they came from in the time stream back in 1942. But by the same idea, it's like, well, she shouldn't actually go out and action it off. She has a destiny. She could get killed at any point on any adventure, and that would also ruin the time stream as well, too.
True. So they shouldn't have even brought her along. They should have just kept her.
Yeah, exactly.
Back
You
in.
know,
That's
right, to
your
40.
destiny.
That's what you always ask
Yeah.
that. Do you have a destiny?
Do you have any
just check.
destiny?
Okay, if not, okay, you can come with us. If
Let's
not,
check the destiny machine.
And that's what Rip did, because he's like, all these people are losers. I'm going to throw them on this ship. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's why they're there. That's
Yeah.
why they are a gang of misfits.
Yeah.
And we can't call them heroes. They're
No.
something else.
Yeah, they're legends.
They're legends.
Connor Pearson Ward has a good hashtag. Hashtag Palmer's couple counseling.
Oh.
I even like the way that scene started, too, with him just kind of slowly
Slowly.
sliding over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it was so cute. He's like, do I do it? Yep. Yep. Yep.
buddy.
Are we cuddling for warmth now? Is that what we're doing, Ray?
I wish they would have cuddled. It would have been cuter. Aw.
There's enough shipping going on.
Yeah, because he's like, you mean Sarah? I know she's bisexual, but...
Yes,
Yeah,
and
that's
by the way, I was kind of happy. This is little, but I was happy to see that there was a nod at the fact that Sarah is bisexual. And I feel like that's often forgotten, and I think is kind of important. That
You think
she's
so? I mean, in Camelot last episode, she was all...
with women.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that it would be, if she was identified as a lesbian, that would also be great, but she identifies as bisexual, and it's nice to be reminded of that, because that's actually a very forgotten group. And I don't know, just to go on a little bit of a soapbox, it's nice to see bisexual recognized as bisexual and talked about as a bisexual, and not just as someone who only sleeps with women or only sleeps with men. She leans more towards women,
Yeah.
but she's still bi, and that was kind of nice to see.
Yeah.
Little reminder. That's all.
Dave's gingerly getting off the soapbox. Right?
Bye. I'm off the soapbox. It was a very tiny soapbox, just like one Irish Spring I was on.
And
that was
Ivan
it?
Soto is very
Just
happy
one.
you mentioned that as well. Yeah.
Now that we always have, because of course Sarah and Jax are in Rip's mind, and they're meeting evil versions of themselves, bizarro versions. But I always feel like anytime you do that, the evil versions of yourself always fight so much better. So we get to
They're
see.
also sexier. They're all
Yeah.
sexier.
We get to see Ray in his Adam suit for like being like very competent, but as the evil version of him. Like we don't get to see him ever kick that much butt
Well,
when
if
he's a
you
good.
watch Chuck, you know that Brandon Routh is very competent as an evildoer.
Right.
And I wish we
Also
had seen
Scott
more.
Pilgrim.
Yeah.
He makes a very good evil vegan in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I just wish sometimes we could see Ray kicking so much butt when he's good
Right.
in the Adam suit. So very often something's always falling off or breaking. Or like,
Very true.
but yeah, he does a little butt whipping to Sarah Lance.
I'd like to see one evil version of a character that's just a mess. That's just not like. That's right. It doesn't look like they just got off the club floor and they're ready to pounce. Everyone looked so good and so sexy. I just want one guy to be like, I'm evil Rory. I'm just the fat blob. That's what I look like when I get fully evil.
Or,
I've been drinking so much beer.
yeah.
Just too much beer.
Well, it's the same as regular Rory.
Yeah, it's
Even
the same as
Sarah
Rory.
says it. It's just like, oh, there's no difference here.
Yeah.
But once she gets struck unconscious, she does get to meet our good version of Rip Hunter back in the brig as well. He's been kind of confined in there, locked away,
Yep.
suppressed in these memories.
Even in his own imagination, he's a pussy. Poor Rip.
Right. Well, this is the original Rip we
Yeah.
have right now. And the thing is, I like Rip two ways now. I've realized I like him either as a badass bad guy, confident bad guy working against the team, or a very unconfident, kind of lost character and doesn't quite know what to do with himself type character.
His Phil character, I liked him.
Yeah, like him as Phil, and him even at the end of this episode, I was like, oh, I don't mind this Rip. If this is like the Rip, it's whenever he tries to be like a badass but know what he's doing as a leader, I don't buy it.
I'm gonna be really curious about seeing the next episode.
Yeah.
How Rip behaves now.
Who's
that-
captain of the Wave Rider now?
Yeah. Does he try to be a know-it-all in the missions? Does he try to lead
Yeah.
from the front, or is he willing to kind of like, all right, I need to find out how I fit into this team now?
Yeah.
as opposed to like assuming like everything's going to be just like it was the last time I was the captain of the ship.
I bet that's what the whole next episode's going to be about, is like who's the captain now. I'm guessing.
Do you want to see Rip back as captain, or would you rather have Sarah still stay?
Sarah.
Sarah, right? Yeah. Sarah's good. I mean, Rip is a good like expert on the Wave Rider and time travel and stuff, but I feel like he could be kind of the sidekick to Sarah. I like her as the leader.
Yeah.
Although if you figure like the expert on the Wave Rider, I mean, Jax has pretty much kind of grown into that role.
Right.
So then you wonder, all right, and then if you think about history, well, you've also got Nate.
You also have Nate, yeah.
I mean, I guess he has future history, stuff that Nate probably doesn't know yet.
Yeah, and right now he really knows what the Spear of Destiny is, and he also knows a bit more about the Legion of Doom. Since he was a member of the Legion of Doom, he might be able to have some insight on at least the big bad for this season. So that's probably the role he's going to play, is like where he knows where the last piece of the Spear of Destiny is. He maybe knows how to use the Spear of Destiny. He's the expert of the Spear of Destiny.
Yeah. I mean, certainly I know that he had other obligations back to Broadchurch and stuff that kind of took him away for their season. But I felt like they also used an opportunity to kind of grow the rest of the characters. So now you wonder, like, now that Rip's back, is there really a place for him long term on the show? Do you feel like that has a show grown past needing a Rip Hunter as a regular member of the team?
Yeah, because Redneck and Nerd had brought that up. What do you think about Rip, and Nate? Like, which one would you keep? Because they kind of serve the same role now, except for, as we say, like, Rip knows a little bit about the future, and then the Legion of Doom, which is great. So it's just like, how do we keep all these characters, or which ones would you want to see go?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I could lose Rip only because we've seen so much of the season without him being a part of the team that I've grown used to, like, not having him around.
He has to evolve into a new character, I think.
Yeah.
He has to evolve into something else. And maybe just him and Gideon just make little ship babies.
I know, that would be adorable.
Yeah.
Or, Jonah Hex, like, that love triangle.
Poor Jonah.
I know, I was so mad that he was not in his mind.
Yeah, like
what is
Jonah
wrong
Hex
with
is
this?
just, they just pass one door and there's
Well.
just like a bathing Jonah Hex. They're like, oh, don't go there. Don't go into that room.
Or did you want to be just as they're kissing, Jonah walks in and like,
No.
Rip?
Oh, where was I invited to this party? That's my
Yeah.
Jonah Hex impression.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm with Mick. I liked you better when you were evil.
Yeah, I mean, that's, as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, that's what most of us are thinking.
Yeah. That's what I love, is how Mick has become the voice of the audience.
Yeah.
This is stupid. Billie Jean Girl 24 says, do you guys think that Rip is going to try to weird science a body for Gideon?
Ooh.
I don't need this as a plotline that needs to be any further exploration. I don't need
Do you
it.
think this is a one and done
I would hope it is.
with this?
But if this is like the new direction we want to take Rip, that now he's gonna, since he's lost his family, he's gonna build himself a new one in terms of building a body for Gideon's AI.
I don't know. There's a part of me that kind of wants to just see the further adventures of Rip with robot Gideon, kind of exploring the time stream and stuff.
Yeah.
I want them to go to other planets. It is a spaceship too.
It can't go in outer
Yeah.
space, yeah. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
great to get Adam Strange. I mean, there was always talk about that. Perhaps our gentleman that plays Rex Tyler Rip Hourman was going to be Adam Strange as one of the
Right.
rumors of who he might be. But it'd be cool.
That would
Yeah.
be cool.
But then we also get the Thanagarians too, which
Yeah, which we weren't that big a fan of him in the first place. But,
They get messy.
good hashtag here. Connor Pearson Ward says, I ship babies.
Well, ship
Yeah.
babies.
Ship babies.
now we do get one other nod to last season as well, as when they first enter Rip's mind, they do see some of Savage's soldiers. Would you have loved if they are able just to get for an episode Vandal Savage to come in and be in Rip's
Yeah, that
mind?
was
I
interesting.
thought maybe he was going to pop up there in his mind. I thought that would be a good cameo to
Yeah.
have him come back
That-
just for that mind episode.
Yeah, for sure. But no, instead we made it easier by just having evil versions of our bad guys.
No,
Or
yeah.
good guys. So they're able to, and we also have the other nice little moment there is between Stein and Rory talking about Jax, because Stein is just freaking out constantly the whole time.
Right. But I feel like, how many times is he going to learn this lesson? Like, I feel like that's a lesson that Stein keeps learning, where he's like, oh, I'm worried about Jax. Oh, he can handle himself. It's like, this is like the 5th time we've seen that.
Yeah, some variation on the same thing.
Yeah, but that's okay. I understand. They're playing off of the relationship of the two, the very kind of father-son thing that they have going on. So,
But I also
makes
felt
sense.
like it was like when at the end when Stein goes to talk to Jax, and Jack's like, like we've already had this talk, Stein. I'm good. I got to get back to fixing the ship.
Yeah. Which
just
it
like,
is kind of
"Yeah,
nice that
dude."
it's something Stein went through without Jax. Jax was like, I was just trying to survive inside a mind, like, and you were out here having this. I've decided you're off on your own. It's like cool, dude. At least I do have to say that their relationship has grown and matured in a nice way. They do feel like a partnership and father and son, and it's moved away from feeling like creepy.
I roofied you to get you on this ship.
I
guy,
roofie
yeah.
you and I crawl inside your body in order to have powers. It like has moved away from that, and it's kind of nice.
Well, seeing this episode and seeing the evil Firestorm on the ship just made me realize it's
Yeah.
been so long since we've actually seen Firestorm show up
That's
on
true.
the show. Do you mind that? Do you like? Hey, I like Alex Jackson Stein separately. It's been great to see them kind of just doing their own things.
Well, I feel like what's important about this season that I've loved is the structure and the planning of each episode and the choreography has made sense every single time. It doesn't feel like, or most of the time, it doesn't quite feel like, oh, we got to separate Stein and Jax so that they don't have an excuse to get together, which happened a lot in the first season. And this time it feels like when they're separate, it makes sense of why, because he's back fixing the ship, or they just need Stein for some other reason. And it hasn't felt like it was missing a time where, oh, if only they had Firestorm, it would have solved everything. So it hasn't been missing in that sense.
Okay.
I do miss it. I do miss like the superpowers, but I also understand, to be realistic, those are expensive superpowers that they have to, every time they combine, it's a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they got to be a little sparing. I kept thinking of this episode when, if Firestorm was evil and actually firing stuff at Jax, he would just burn up, right? Because it's a pretty powerful power.
Yeah.
It's not like you could be like, oh, I got burnt by flames and run off. But at the same time, it's all in someone's mind, so it might not be as dangerous as it appears.
It was interesting that because when Jack starts shooting, I mean, Sarah goes down, Savage's soldiers go down, but Firestorm, the gun, the ray gun does not affect.
Yeah.
So I thought for sure.
I
it
also
would.
think that like the plot point was that they destroyed Sarah's wristband.
And it didn't really amount to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the wristband is all in their mind anyways. It's not like they actually brought it into their mind. So they could have done a cool thing where she's like, oh, yeah, it doesn't actually exist. I still have it, and all of a sudden it's there. And then she presses it.
That's true.
But I guess they wanted to do the save Sarah before she gets trapped in the mind thing.
But yeah, because I guess you're taking it in your mind because I figure like, why are you giving them in the real world? Because their hands will never actually touch that.
To me, that made sense because it's like if you give me if you tell me like you're about to go into this is the fake science here, #fake science. But like if you have, it's like here's a wrist thing, here's a bracelet. You're gonna wear the same exact clothes you're wearing now inside someone's mind. It's not like when you go into their mind, you're gonna be naked in their mind. You're gonna be dressed the way you're dressed that day. So the bracelet is part of that. So it's just a button that you press that maybe your body will signal like, oh, that means I'm getting electrocuted. And so it just fools your brain to come out.
Makes it sound so much more painful.
That was Dave Child's Fake Science Corner.
Now Dave is gingerly stepping out of the corner.
Out of the corner, very tiny corner. Thank you.
But look, everything comes up aces at the end. We're able to
Everything turns out okay.
Yeah, we're able to extract the time ball from the nest of dinosaur
Yeah.
eggs, and Gertrude starts charging, and then we get a really cool scene with Amaya.
Yeah, so my question is, do you know how the Vixen powers work? Are they something where she can only summon the powers of an animal if she meets the animal?
I'm wondering about that too because I
yeah.
felt like maybe she need because I guess in modern day if that
Yeah.
she's never come across a dinosaur.
So why would she have T-Rex powers?
Yeah.
So my my question is she now going to be able to bring up T-Rex powers
I would
in
think
the
so.
future? That would be kind of great.
Yeah.
I hope that comes back.
That would actually be really cool to see that.
Where she
happen.
has to make a charge, and instead of bringing up the old rhino or elephant like she usually does, she brings out the T-Rex.
Oh, because if you had all of a sudden you all had access to T-Rex abilities, why wouldn't you just use that all the time?
Also, what are T-Rex abilities? Would they be not using your hands very well,
Yeah.
but
Never-
really great chomps?
Never paid for a
Really.
bill. I can't pay for that bill. I can't
And
reach
also, I can't see anything that isn't moving. If you stand still, I won't be able to see it.
it. She's always just swinging her tail around. That's all she's doing.
Swinging the tail around, and also just chompers, having good chompers.
I mean, I guess just proportionally they're going to be very strong. I
Yeah,
mean, just like with
strong.
tail and stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah,
sense of
you
smell.
can eat lawyers off toilets.
Yeah.
That's all she's doing now.
That's all the abilities are.
But yeah, that's and I like the way that was. You expect maybe a big fight, but it just turns out to a beautiful connection between human and dinosaur.
Nice. Well, one thing we know for sure after this episode is that life does find a way.
Please freeze frame that.
Okay,
I love that.
that's the life finds a way. And one thing I know when I look at the Legends of Tomorrow is that they're not only family, but they do move in herds. Missed that cue. You missed
oh, beautiful, beautiful,
cue.
beautiful.
They do move in herds.
Oh my God, Redneck Nerd has another good comment. I wonder if Nate ever asked Amaya to use her animal powers in her quarters.
Well,
Because he was really turned on by that T-Rex bit.
that's true. But I mean, that's pretty awesome to see somebody come up to a T-Rex, just kind of put their hand on the skull.
Oh, go up. We have a correction of someone saying, someone giving me a correction that Ivan Soto said, "No, Dave, thank you for making it personal." She could always use the animal spirits. The Ashe, is it Ashe medallion or Ash medallion? Ashe medallion has the spirits of every animal that has ever lived. So she's always had the T-Rex powers, according to Ivan. So
Interesting.
yeah. So
But I mean, I guess maybe if you even it's one of those
maybe it
things
just
like,
doesn't come to your
Yeah.
mind like, oh, I can use T-Rex powers.
hopefully now though she's like, oh wait a second, I met a dinosaur. I do have dinosaur power. Let's start some dinosaurs.
Yeah, let's throw it out. I need to get something from the top leaf. I'll throw out no, brontosauruses don't exist.
No.
Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
And be careful they sneeze on you. Huh?
What about those? She needs to spit something very far, so it's one of those.
Just using the amulet for the most trivial of things.
Like,
The worst thing.
That's what I would do. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this for stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, good guy has hashtag Dave Child's word of hope. I like that.
Word of hope. I like how I'm having like segments.
Yeah,
now.
That's right.
And now,
And now Dave's word of hope. Broccoli. Thank you.
And then Connor Pearson Ward says, hashtag legends move in herds. And we've got Billie Jean Girl 24 with hashtag animal sex.
Ooh, Billie Jean.
Billie Jean, I don't know.
I'm putting down legends do move in herds, though.
Yeah.
So we do get everything back safe and sound. We get Ray and Jax rebuilding the Wave Rider, get everything nicely constructed again. We get Nate and Amaya. Nate is not going to give it up. They do a little smooch, and then
Little
Amaya
smooch.
says, "Come back to my cabin at 9 o'clock, and I'll give you something to remember." Yeah.
Get
I think
those
we all
dirty
realized
powers.
that Nate was not going to be like, I'm just going to end it now. Of course
Yeah,
not. Of course not.
I do like that. That he wasn't like this. This is the night. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
yeah, exactly.
Because who's going to turn that down? Like, let's face it. You're like, hey, you
Yeah.
want to come to my quarters? Yeah.
I do have to say, if he does follow through with breaking it off tomorrow, it's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
It's gonna be not so great for them.
Really? I don't know about that.
Yeah, but if it's like,
Remember, she is not a modern woman of 2017 with Tinder.
But she's also kind of letting herself go.
Yeah.
Herself. She's
Free.
a modern woman now.
Yeah, they
But
go.
also, I just think TV rules apply where it's like, you knew you were going to break up with me, yet you still slept with me last night. That's always a problem in TV land.
Yeah, true.
So we'll see.
Well, these aren't just regular people. Don't call them that, Dave.
They're legends.
Oh, Talon T brings up a good point, and since I love Swamp Thing, I'm going to mention it. Is it her
Thank you. You
Yes.
caught it that time.
The Vixen's powers are connected to something called the red, similar to Swamp Thing in the green. So
Oh, right.
I was
Or like
that's cool. Yeah.
Animal Man as well.
Animal Man has
Yeah.
the same abilities. That's right.
There you go. It was let's get Animal Man. If we lose Vixen, let's get Animal Man.
Or
Let's
Swamp
get
Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah, because I've been campaigning for his friend John Constantine.
Right.
And
Boom, we got
Drink
it.
it,
in,
drink it
folks.
up.
We got it in. Don't
You
think
spent the
could- yes.
whole day
Yeah.
just not drinking.
Took for
You're
a
like,
long time.
is it constant?
Whoa,
Oh,
Supernatural. No.
no.
So then we also have Rip at the end of the episode after she has his little heart-to-heart with Gideon. They had a little smooch. I remember the smooch. I don't regret it. Neither do I.
I don't know.
You know, who knows what's gonna happen? He has the little awkward reintroduction with the team, and that was
Yeah.
just like awkward
Hello.
handshakes. Yeah.
Hello, I tried to kill you. Hello, I'm sorry. Sorry.
And we end the episode where Rip knows where the last part of the time sphere is in Commander Steel, and we cut to 1970 NASA flight operations, where Reverse Flash is talking to one of the potential astronauts, and I have
Yeah.
a feeling it's not going to end well for this fine gentleman.
No,
In terms
no.
of his trip going on Apollo 13.
It's Apollo 13, and it's an interesting one to choose that they didn't just choose the moon landing itself. That Apollo 13 is the one, which is famously so with Tom Hanks and
Yeah.
Gary Sinise, that they don't land on the actual moon. So something goes wrong, and they have to save them. So it's a good one to choose because you can use that something went wrong as the thing that happens in the episode. So I like that.
Or maybe Reverse Flash is just a big Tom Hanks fan, and he wants to make sure that movie actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Connor Pearson Ward has an awesome joke here. They must have had sex like In-N-Out fries, animal style.
Ooh, that is a regional specific joke.
They have them in Texas and stuff too.
Oh, no, they don't have In-N-Outs in Texas.
Yeah, they do.
They do now?
Yeah,
They do?
we've had them
That's
for
new.
years.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was always just California and a little bit of Nevada.
How far do they go? How far
California,
east?
Nevada, Texas, Utah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Thanks, God.
know.
Trying to get to Washington.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
think we got them back in 2009 or 10. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I thought they only went as far as trucks can take them because they don't want to freeze them. They don't want to freeze the food. This is brought to you by In-N-Out. In-N-Out. Fries find a way.
Oh my goodness. What a great episode of the Legends of Tomorrow After Show. I mean, this is one you want to,
This is one you want to save and show your parents.
yes, really, tell the Museum of Television and Radio to
Right.
carve open a little spot here for the Legends of Tomorrow After Show. We're sending this straight over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look at that. You can. Thanks to Carson's last show.
Yep.
This episode of the Legends Tomorrow After Show. Now, before we start wrapping things up, we've got to decide a winner. Who's going to get this super sweet drawing and special musings?
Any
from
more you
MR
want
Dave
to
Child?
like find that you want to mention before we go through the ones I've written down here?
Yeah, Jared Scoggin has one, and it's just because it's funny to me. Just have to say, they said Jax is chief engineer. Hashtag because there is only one.
Oh, that's because it's you.
That's why I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Okay, so we have time balls. Hashtag poor Gertie. Hashtag blue steel balls. Hashtag Palmer couples counseling. Hashtag legends do move in herds. And hashtag Rip ships his ship. I gotta say, I think Rip ships his ship is the best one.
Yeah, it was the first one, but it was the best
It was
one.
the first
Yeah.
one,
No.
but that's the one I vote for. So thank you. You did it. You did it. Please send me an email either on davechild.com or you can DM me on Twitter. Do you know who that was?
It was Redneck and Nerd.
Okay, great.
Love it.
What is it? Red?
Redneck and Nerd.
Redneck and Nerd.
See, I'm not the only one of those.
Redneck and Nerd, if you want to contact me off Twitter, for instance, send me your address. I'll actually send it tomorrow. You'll get it right away. All the other winners will get it tomorrow as well.
It's going to be autographed by Dave Child.
Yeah.
Autographed by Lacretia Lyon. Autographed by myself. A great family keepsake that you'll be coming into your life there.
Yeah.
And passed down from generation to generation.
You'll love it. You'll frame it. You'll sleep with it. You'll sleep with it at night.
Sleep with it first, then frame it. I think the other way around, that's not going to be.
That's a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be jagged.
Yeah.
But don't rip it in your sleep.
That's right.
Oh.
All right, before we roll out of here, quick prediction by anybody?
I think that the next one, if they're smart, they're going to use Captain Rip to get into the Legion's head.
Ooh, infiltrate.
Infiltrate, because I think Rip, now that Rip's good, he's going to show up and be like, hey, I'm still a bad guy. What's up, guys? We're still doing this. I got rid of them. Oh, boy. That's what I think is going to happen next one.
That's what he should do.
Yeah, let's see if he actually
Let's
does.
test Rip's acting ability. I know he went to film school, but it's not the same.
Right.
I have a feeling he'll try and he won't be able to maintain it. It's going to fall apart at some point.
Like Ray's, he couldn't Hell Hitler, He's not
Yep.
going to be, he just can't be evil.
No. Can't do it.
Can't do it, won't do it. All right, Lacretia?
I hope we see Stein's daughter again. I know they kept talking about it in here because we all want her with Ray, and I know there's a lot of stuff other going on, but let's let Ray get the girl for
Come
once.
on.
Yeah,
Ray needs one. She
Little
seems
bit.
nice.
No, I feel like she's definitely a nice addition to Stein's character as well. Yeah, I'm always happy when she's around.
We also get the prediction that Nate is Mari's grandfather
Yeah.
Yep.
from Glix Rider 13. But yeah, this is going to be a good one. I think I'm continuing to like this season still. It's still one of the more fun shows on CW. So
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll be curious to see where they take season 3, given the fun they've had with these villains this time, if they can replicate that formula for next season.
Oh yeah, and they mentioned you almost ruined Star Wars bit. I was like, oh yeah,
That was
I forgot
good.
about that. That was cute.
I feel like Rip didn't really take that to heart. I mean, I
No.
don't think I was like, come on, Rip, come on. Realize
You don't
just-
know what this means to that nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It meant a lot. He's a big nerd.
Rip was like kind of like, yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
nerd.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. We have done it. You didn't think we could do it, and we did it.
We did it. We did a show.
We did a show, and
You
watched
enjoyed it.
That's right. And you know what? The fun doesn't stop here, though, because you know what? You can like us on Facebook. You
Yeah.
can give us those 5 stars on iTunes, please.
Yes.
Please, for the love of everything. Lex Michael needs to be back on the show next week, and only your 5 stars can get him here.
Lex left us. Lex left us. But that's not what I'm gonna do. Another Jurassic Park reference. That was one too many. I'm Dave Child. You can find me at mrdavechild or davechild.com. I love you. My name is Dave Child.
Well, I love you guys too, and my name is Lacretia Lyon, so you guys can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one.
I'm treading cautiously. I've been hurt before, so I can't really say that I love you folks. I can't really make that leap yet. But who knows what the future will hold. Like us on Facebook, give us a 5-star on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for hopping in the chat, everybody. I'm Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. Just do it, Dave Child. Follow me on Instagram, Dave Child. Please.
I do.
I don't think you do.
Don't I do? I do.
I doubt that's true. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this episode. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Legends Tomorrow After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. Mwah.
The views expressed herein are those of the host.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Hashtag rip ship ship.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.